Alright guys, today we're going to take a look at my wide receiver rankings for this upcoming week. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So starting off right away, as always, I have this split up in the ownership of that said player. So how many lineups will most likely own that player. For example, Jay Jettis will probably be owned in 80% of lineups. I have a yes, a no, and a maybe, which of course is either should you go with him, yes, or no, or yeah, maybe. And I also give a floor and a ceiling of that said player. Now, keep in mind, when I do have my ownership set at 80% here, obviously what that means is that player is very chalky. That means that if you have them in your lineup, you're going to want to diversify your lineup as much as humanly possible because you are going to probably have a lineup that's very similar to somebody else. One way you really win DFS is you want to have, the best players in your lineup, but you also want to have a lineup that, gets you a little bit more diversification and you have that crazy winning player every week. So let's get right into it. So starting off right away, yes, Jay Jettis is an absolute tank week one. He has a great matchup. He's going to be pretty much the guy that everybody and their mother wants to go for, right? And it makes sense. He's the best receiver in the league for a reason. And I will say, not always does, being the best receiver or the best player in the league translates to fantasy points, right? We've seen many times in the past that just because you're the best receiver does not mean you're going to be the best for DFS. Nope, Jay Jettis is that guy. And he gets Tampa Bay. So, the only issue I could see with this game, and I don't really think there is much of an issue, I have his floor at 25 points, ceiling at 40, is if the Vikings get up by a lot in this game, and then it ends up becoming just a, okay, now we put in our backups and we run the football and we get out of this Tampa Bay game. Because I don't think Baker, or whether they use Baker or Kyle Trask, I think at some point in this game we're going to see both quarterbacks in here, just because of how this game's going to go. I don't see either option really keeping up with the Vikings offense, and I think the Vikings defense is good enough to get some stops. Now, I will say the number 2 receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, after they got rid of Adam Thielen, is now KJ Osborne. Now, I do actually have KJ Osborne going down this list here. Let me see if I can find him real fast. Jordan Addison's right there. Yeah, right there. I have him also as a yes. Now, he is listed as the wide receiver number 2, while Jordan Addison is listed as the wide receiver number 3. For Jordan Addison here, I have him as a yes too, because again, like I said, I think this could be a game where all 3 of them score at least a touchdown in this game. I think Jay Jettis is going to get his points, but it's very possible this Minnesota offense is very, very good across the board when it comes to DFS. So, very excited about it. So, I do have all 3 receivers on this team as a yes. So I don't usually always do that, usually because if I think one guy's going to do good, most likely the other guys aren't going to do that great too. So I might put a maybe or a no for the other guys. Cooper Kupp. This is such a weird situation. He's right now day to day. Let me actually read his exact situation. Sean McVay acknowledged Thursday that Kupp has suffered a recent setback through the coach's use of the term day to day. Suggests he hasn't given up on the wide receiver playing week 1 at Seattle. Rappaport hints at Kupp missing at least one game, which wouldn't be surprised if the hamstring injury cost him most of training camp, and now him missing practice less than 2 weeks before the season opener. So, I have him as a no for that said reason, because I feel like even if he somehow did play, he would get limited snap counts anyway. Now, the thing about this is, the Rams know this year they're going to suck, right? That's just a fact of life. Everyone knows the Rams going to suck. The Rams know they're going to suck. So what that means is it's very possible they just don't care. And they just put him out there anyway. I have his ownership here at 30% because if he plays, there will be a lot of people who do end up playing him. And when I say a lot, I mean 30% of people will play him. Just because of his name recognition alone. A lot of people will just see, oh, Cooper Kupp, he's a great receiver. And they'll go ahead and put him in. So, I would not suggest going with him at all. Tyreek Hill here, he goes against the Chargers. I talked about this game many, many times on this channel so far. I love this game, Miami versus LA. I think it's going to be a high-scoring, back-and-forth game. Miami does not have Jalen Ramsey. The Chargers secondary, while it's decent, is not that great. And I think Tyreek Hill can absolutely go off. Jamar Chase versus Cleveland, another really good matchup here. You want to keep an eye on Joe Burrow, though. It looks like he is 100% healthy and ready to get back to work. But if something happens, there's a setback with his calf strain, just keep an eye out on him, because if he can't go, he's a Jamar Chase and all these weapons, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, etc., automatically plummet down in value. Devontae Adams, he gets his week 1 matchup versus the Broncos. I actually do like the Broncos a lot on defense. I don't really like their offense as much. But I will say Patrick Surtain's going to be going against Adams probably the whole entire game. I still think Adams is going to do really good. Jimmy G is going to be the starting quarterback for that team. And it looks like they're going to, see how good Jimmy G can play. It looks like Jimmy G is cleared and everything is fine. I know we had some rumors that he wouldn't play week 1 in the early in the offseason, but it looks like he is good to go. A.J. Brown gets the New England Patriots. I'm not scared about that matchup. I think that matchup is fine. So now I do have yes for the rest of these guys, going all the way down to Mike Evans. So all these guys have really solid plays. Keenan Allen, I think there's a little bit less of excitement for me to play Keenan Allen. If I'm being honest with you, I probably want to go Mike Williams or Austin Eckler. If I'm going with that Chargers stack rather than Keenan Allen. I like Keenan Allen. He has dealt with injuries a lot in his career. And I think, especially in this game, how high scoring is going to be, I think we could see Mike Williams get 1 or 2 crazy big play touchdowns. And also, Keenan Allen is just way too expensive for me. $7,300 is... I can't get there with Keenan Allen. Like, Mike Williams, I can get there a little bit better. Going down this list here, Mike Williams at $5,700. I'm okay with dealing with that, because I expect Mike Williams probably goes out there and puts up like 60 yards and a touchdown. I'm okay with that. Then I think really that's his floor. So I think his ceiling could be crazier than that. So let's go down to the Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a maybe. I also have Chris Godwin as a maybe too. And the reason why is because I don't know what to expect from this, Buccaneers offense, guys. Could they go out there and play really great football versus this Commander squad? Absolutely. Could they, Minnesota squad? Absolutely. Could they blow me away and just, play the best football I've ever seen in my life? Yeah, they could. And Baker Mayfield could somehow, some way look good. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Minnesota gets up by a lot in this game, and they do play catch-up. Now, that would help out, again, Mike Evans. It would also help out Chris Godwin. That's why I have him as a maybe, because I think there's a potential they could do stuff like that if they get down by a lot. The problem is, it's very possible that they get down by a lot, and again, they just simply can't do anything. They still can't do anything. We saw the Bucs versus Saints, 2 years ago with Tom Brady, where the Saints beat them 26-0. It's possible. Michael Pittman and everything on that Colts offense right now is a maybe. Reason why? You guessed it. I don't know what to expect from Anthony Richardson. I need to see how week 1 goes for Anthony Richardson before I'm committed to his receivers and to his options. Whenever you have a brand new quarterback, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, you don't know what to expect, right? And yes, we saw the preseason. We saw him score a rushing touchdown in the preseason. I think it was a rushing touchdown in the preseason. We saw, some flashes in the preseason. But this is not the preseason anymore. This is the regular season now. So I need to see what he's going to give me and what players he likes to target. Who does he feel safe throwing the football to, right? Because at the end of the day, we don't know anything of what he's going to do. He could play this game and throw the ball 60 times to Mo Cox. He could run the ball 60 times. We also don't know how this offense how the coach is gonna open up the offense for him. Is the coach just gonna say, all right, Anthony Richardson, you go out there and we're just gonna let you do you? Or is he gonna play more of a conservative, safe type of offense? I think he plays more conservative and safe without Jonathan Taylor out there. He's out for 4 weeks. So I don't think they're gonna really just put out Anthony Richardson out there when, again, his biggest issue coming out of college was he's a raw talent. He's a raw passer of the football. So he needs to work on that. Next guy on this list here, I have maybe is Christian Watson. Romeo Dobbs is going to most likely be out for this upcoming game versus the Bears. And if that's the case, I do not like I do not like Christian Watson. Because that's the only receiver really that the, Packers have that's really good. So I think he just gets double covered. And if this game becomes Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon running the football and trying to keep this game close with the Bears, I just don't like that game at all. So I'm just going to be honest. Again, Jordan Love is just like a rookie quarterback. I'm going to need to see more. All right, so Deontay Johnson is a maybe, and I also have George Pickens down here as a maybe too. I will say, overall-wise, I'm a lot more interested in George Pickens than I am Deontay Johnson. But honestly, both of them really does interest me. Listen, the 49ers got a good defense. That's not a, mystery, okay? They do. But here's the thing. Even though they have a great defense, I'm not really scared when the price tags of these guys are $5,300 and what is George Pickens? $5,000. I mean, it's not going to take a lot for you to hit those numbers for me, right? Let's be honest. I mean, if George Pickens goes out there and has a 60-yard touchdown on a blown coverage, he's paying back $5,000. That's just absolutely 100% money back guaranteed. So, I'm on the fence about those guys. And I think Kenny Pickett has shown in the preseason, and it was preseason, but I think he has shown he can open up this offense a little bit. Everything for the Cardinals I have is a no. I'm sorry, I don't trust the Cardinals. I don't know what they're doing. Clearly they're tanking, and that's pretty much that, but I don't trust anything else. Alright, so I have 2 yeses down here, and this is actually my last 2 yeses here. KJ Osborne obviously listed at wide receiver number 2. And finally, my second yes is going to be Zay Flowers. I love Zay Flowers here at 4,000. I think this is so undervalued. And going into next week, we're going to see that he shoots up the board here and probably comes in around like 5,500, maybe 5,700 after week 1. And I think this is the freest money you're ever going to get. He's a nice number 3 option in this Baltimore Ravens offense. That's probably going to throw the ball a lot in this game. The Texans secondary is not the greatest, so that he's going to be able to pick it apart. It's exciting. This could be a 49-0 type of game for the Ravens. So, give me Zay Flowers for that said reason. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one.